Hello, friends. Hey, welcome back to Dallas Metro Podcast. Hey, we have in the studios with us today Biggie. Biggie's been with us her entire life. Biggie, welcome. So glad to have you here today.
Just glad to be here.
Now, you were born in Missouri, correct?
That is true.
And then moved from Missouri to
The Pleasant Grove.
Pleasant Grove. And Dallas Metro was there when your family first arrived? Or?
Yes, very much so.
What was that like?
It was very interesting. So my mom saw you guys driving by on a Sunday. I remember James and a couple other people, honking a horn. My mom's like, goes up to them. She's like, hey, what's this? And they start explaining, we're picking up for church, but we do like sidewalk service on these days. And, she found it interesting and she let us go. So here I am.
So you actually went to Dallas Metro Church before you went to Dallas Metro Sidewalk Sunday School. Is that right?
Yes, that's correct.
So there's a Sidewalk Sunday School in your neighborhood. What was that like?
It was actually really fun. Like, I remember to this day, different experiences. Like, it was right across the street from apartments. My mom let me go to the sidewalk for the first time. My siblings sitting on tarps, just having a good time.
So you guys lived in Pleasant Grove until when? How old were you?
So we moved there when I was about like 3.
Okay.
And then from there we moved to West Dallas when I was about like 7 or 8.
Okay. So when you moved to West Dallas, what was the surprise when you showed up there?
You guys were there as well.
Hello. So you started going to Sidewalk in West Dallas?
Yeah.
And part of that program. And then from there you grew up to be a teenager and started attending DMY. Yeah. So tell us about DMY.
DMY, I was actually one of the first teens to go in there. It wasn't a lot of us, but we made it work. It was a good experience. It really just helped keep me out of like all the other things that was going on. So them picking us up, like being able to drive us to be there for programs and just do for kids what you guys did for me was good.
Yeah, in West Dallas is known for drug traffic and everything that goes with that. What was that like?
It was definitely an experience. Like, I had that connection with you guys for me to be able to like not be home as much. My parents tried to shoot me from the things, but there isn't a lot to do, But while it didn't really get to me as much as it did to others, it did affect my family pretty hard with my brother and everything. But like for us, it was an everyday occurrence. So a lot of things we were just used to.
A lot of people that are watching today, they don't quite understand how that all takes place. Talk to us about what was it like to live there. I mean, you mentioned the drug traffic and that being normal. For most people who are watching today, that's not normal. So tell us, what does that mean for drug traffic? Why would anybody even get involved in that?
It's honestly about the money.
Yeah.
When the neighborhoods that we live in, they're not the greatest when it comes to upkeep. Like, people, some people do it to try, like, call themselves trying to get out. So they're like, okay, if I sell this, then I can make money and I cannot be here. But all that's doing is really just looping them back in. And it's just a continuous cycle of, and honestly, sometimes their parents would do it. So it's like, I'm just doing what my parents do to keep us to have money in our pockets. And others, it could be for other reasons, like, just maybe a lot of people that I knew, like, it would be, they wanted it, so they sold it so they could have it. But
they're selling to feed their habit, is what you're saying, right? Yeah. Yeah. And Dallas Metro provided a venue for you to not be sucked into that lifestyle. So I'm so grateful for that. And we just got back from summer camp. Tell us the experiences you had as a child of going to summer camp.
Honestly, they were all great. Most of my memories from like when I was actually a camper, which was a long time, was the surprising connections that I made with all the people. Like, I don't think people understand that even though camp is only a couple days, a lot of things that really impersonated me happen in those like 3 to 4 days. You know what I mean? Like, my counselor, like, growing up, I didn't see a lot of twins. My counselor, Joy and Grace, they were twins. I was like, okay, this is the first time I've ever met a person, so it allowed me to form a connection with them and, understand a lot of things. But when it came to camp, like just having that, I'm trying to think of a good word for it. But just having that experience and being able to just like be yourself and not be judged about wanting to learn more about God, and going out to the altar and being able to cry and just feel the presence of the Holy Spirit is unbelievable.
Yeah, people don't realize in such a short window, as you mentioned, such a short window of time, the impact you can have on people's lives. A volunteer thinks that it takes a huge commitment. And obviously, it does take a commitment to work in the city. There's no question about that. As you said, the normal is a little different than what they're probably used to, right? And yet those few days that they spent with people just like you, they have a lasting impact. So, as I mentioned, we just got back from camp. Now you're not a camper. You actually have your own room now. So what's the difference between now and when you were a child?
Honestly, a lot. Just with me not. I mean, like even this year, every single girl in my cabin, it was their first time, and just being able to like tell them like I used to be where you are. This is my first time here. I didn't know anything. Like I'm learning things new. It's a different experience. It's honestly just so great for me, especially just like you said in that short period of time. These girls really like open up, and just being able to see that and just realize like, hey, like I'm actually helping make a difference.
They're just looking for a positive influence. No different than yourself, right? Mm-hmm. Just looking for someone to be a positive influence, invest in them, and look at them and go, you have value, right? You're important, and that you care about them. So not only did you go to summer camp, obviously you volunteer at Dallas Metro. Why volunteer? If somebody was watching this today, maybe they're thinking about I'd like to invest my life. Why would somebody volunteer with Dallas Metro?
I was honest to say it's for me it was about forming that community and being there. Like I said, from just everywhere I moved, you guys being there and just wanting to give that impact to somebody else and do what you and James and Chrissy did for me for somebody else. Like seeing those kids have somebody to support them and be there for them and know like, hey, Metro's going to be there every Tuesday, every Wednesday, every Thursday, every Friday. Like it definitely gives them something that they wouldn't have otherwise.
Yeah. Not only do we are we in the neighborhoods in the program every week, not only do we offer the youth program during the midweek, not only do we have the services on Sunday, but there's something else that we do that's, I think, is probably what we do best, and that is the day before the program. Somebody come by your house and knocked on your door, right?
Yes, that's true. Like clockwork. Yes. And honestly, that was one of the best parts too. Is like you just knowing like, hey, being able to like get a knock on your door, see people, like just the excitement of like knowing they're there, and having like when you're in that type of neighborhood, having something that's so consistent and persistent is everything.
Yeah. It's amazing. Something so very, very simple, knocking on somebody's door. As you know, we visit every child and their family every single week. For years, I'd say we're just like the postman. The difference is we always bring good news. Sometimes the postman doesn't bring good news, but we always bring good news. And it's that personal time, that one-on-one time, that you actually have an opportunity to make an impact on a person's life just like you. And look what God has done for you. You graduated from high school. Remind me which high school you graduated from?
Franklin D. Roosevelt.
Franklin, okay. And then that was a long time ago now, right?
You're making me feel old with all these stories. It's 2019.
Now you are a senior at Abilene Christian College. Big year for you. And your major is in?
Business marketing with a minor in management.
Business marketing. So something really, really special happened to you last week. Tell us about that.
So I was awarded the scholarship that was founded for Barbara, which was honestly, I sorry.
That's all right, babe.
I'm honestly really thankful. Like, I miss her all the time.
Yeah. Me too. Yeah.
But I am really thankful just the role that Metro has already played a part in it, and then just honestly with that scholarship, just playing an even more part in helping me be great and succeed.
Yeah, every week, Biggie, we try to give a nugget to people, something that they can take home and use. First off, I think the first nugget today is the fact that you have shown people you can live in a neighborhood that's not so good, and you can still stand up for what's right, stand up for the Lord. But also, He'll provide. The verse I wrote down for this session we have together, 2 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 8. And most of us know the first part of this verse, but not so much the second part. The first part says, and God will provide, will generously provide, and there's the key word, God will generously provide all that you need. Then it says, then you will always have everything you need. And that's usually when we stop off on that. But the second part of that verse says, and plenty left over to share with others. So when God blesses us, just like He's blessed you, so that we'll have something to give to others, not just to meet our needs. If that was a deal, then we would become very, very selfish, you know. But God has blessed you because He wants you to have plenty left over to give others. And there's people that are watching today, they need to hear that story too. They need to know that if you trust the Lord, God will provide. And that provision is not for us to be selfish, but to take and to give others. You also saw our plans, the preliminary conceptual drawings for our new facility. I think all of us are kind of wowed by that. And we'll be sharing that with those that are watching. But as we jumped into this campaign called All In, where honestly, the focus from the very beginning is people just like you. This isn't about investing in a building. It's about investing in the next generation that the Lord is raising up, and that is definitely people just like you. So if you were wanting to share with somebody, why should you get involved in All In? Why should you give to help Dallas Metro? What would you tell people today?
I would tell them, honestly, just to get in, just like as you said, me as an example, just the more, like, just to help you guys build a presence. You know what I mean? So that they can see that, hey, they're actually making a difference in these kids' lives. They're hoping, like, show them what they could be versus where they are. And you guys just having a building somewhere to actually, you know what I mean, work out of. And, I just feel like it would strengthen what's already there. And honestly, Sidewalk was even a better example of taking these kids from one place and taking them to, and honestly, this new building and seeing like, hey, like I could probably work here someday. These people are honestly there to make a difference.
Yeah, I would agree with that. This facility definitely offers hope to the hopeless. And when Barbara and I began, one of the phrases that the Lord gave to us to bring hope to the hopeless. And that's definitely part of what All In is. All In gives us an opportunity to have a new center where people just like yourselves can come. And then become teenagers, they can come to the midweek program and then Sunday be a part of the church, just like you are. So, hey, folks, I first off, Biggie, I'm so proud of you. So very, very proud of you. There's no one more worthy of receiving that scholarship than you. Can't wait to see what God does with you. I'm looking forward to you walking across that stage and getting that diploma And when that happens, it definitely will be saying, look what the Lord has done. And we're so glad that you chose to join with us today. I trust that you have gotten a little insight about some of the children. And obviously, if you look at Biggie, you go, this is not a child. You're right. She is a beautiful young lady that we are very, very proud of. We did launch the All In campaign this past week, and you can be a part of it. You can go to our webpage, dallasmetro.org. You can look at some of the conceptual drawings and some of the plans that the architect is starting putting together, and you can be a part. You know, I can't stress this enough. We need you joining with us so that we can take and reach other young men, young women, just like Biggie. Every dollar make a difference. So I'm asking you, would you take and give today? Go to dallasmetro.org. God bless you, friends. Thanks for being with us.